All right. Good morning, folks. Welcome in. It is House Edge Live. It's John. We're on Casino Gaming Central, and we are continuing the progression weeks. We did a week of positive progressions, all the ways you can kind of start little and run your bets up, make a bunch of money, hopefully. We did a week of negative progressions where we talked about various ways to play from the downside, right? Lose your money, playing from um, by jamming up your losses, right? By chasing your loss, finding ways to win that way. I saved this week for another negative progression, which is called the ladder. And the reason why I did that was because for whatever reason, and maybe it's good reason, the ladder is the most popular way to play negative progressions. And I think it's probably one of the safest ways to play a negative progression compared to the martingale and some others. And so I thought we would spend more time on it because people seem to love it. And we have a couple of people, actually three in particular in our audience, that are kind of really into this, right? Like Waylon, as you know, Waylon's Way Craps, famous for his ladders, right? Pretty much everything Waylon does is a variation of a ladder with just different ways of moving bets around. Ken from Ken Knows Gambling, who's out there in the audience this morning. Hi, Ken. Plays ladders. I'm not sure if that's his go-to way. I know he does a martingale on the blackjack game with a very specific rule set. He does a lot of ladders on his shows, but I think as part of his regular play, he'll ladder up here and there. But he's very knowledgeable in that part of the game. And Dr. S, who's always out here too, plays a ladder exclusively on crap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk today kind of about laddering in general and just kind of the concepts of it. I'll do some demonstrations and that kind of thing. And then later in the week, we'll kind of bring some people out. I'll give you kind of a preview of what's going to happen here in just a minute. But before we do that, let's do the needful, right? Let's make sure that we remember why, right? I say this every day. My wife says it to me. Why do you do these shows? Are you ever going to stop having something to say? And I was talking to 10 Ton from Casino Tears the other day, and we were talking about like why we do our shows, and that kind of thing. And he's like, and I kept saying to him, like, I'm kind of done with the strategy stuff. Like, I never really put out new strategies. I just showed you the ways I like to play, right? And I would sometimes run other people's stuff, but just really kind of, that was never really my thing. My thing was always breaking strategies down, more so than trying to find new ones. But I found, like I said to him, like, this is kind of like a calling for me. Like, I do these shows because I feel like at some point, it's like a preacher at some point, right? Like a preacher in a church just wants one person to get saved, right? That's if his whole mission boils down to one person being saved, he's done his job, right? And that's kind of how I feel. Like, if we can do all these shows, like one person figures it out and doesn't lose their house and saves their family, then that's good, right? That's why I preach the way I preach on these shows, right? About how the casinos just want your money. They want everything. And I love casinos. I think it's fun. I love to gamble, right? But I do it with eyes wide open, right? And I think a lot of people don't. And I want people to remember the root cause of all their potential financial problems, which is this. And I watched a great show yesterday on YouTube on prediction markets. I forget the name of the show. But anyway, this guy broke down prediction markets really, really well, and how they're just predatory with the young guys, right? With young men especially. And that whole ecosystem has made gambling like a part of our fabric. And these people are pushing, like, I'm trying to make rent with gambling on prediction markets. Like, you guys, these people all exist to take every cent you have. They don't give two rats shits about you. It's so important to realize this. And I have to make this point every single day, because someday somebody's going to see this and for the first time really understand that you can never actually win in the long run. You might get lucky for a while, but you can never actually win. And if you do find a way to win, they will take it all. They'll stop you from winning and make it worse for you. And all the games I can show you as evidence of exactly that. So just be careful, spread the word, let people know how dangerous this habit of ours is, right? What tools do you have to fight it? You have bankroll potentially that you can use, and ladders are designed to use your bankroll as leverage, as the one tool you might actually physically have if you've got enough of it to make a dent, right? Everything else is mental. Your relationship with risk, how you see when it's time to leave. Do you have discipline? Do you set goals? And are you emotionally stable and in check? Well, ladders will test all of that. Any kind of negative progression will test all those mental things for sure. So We're going to talk this week, and this might be kind of a short week, about ladders, specifically the D'Alembert. We'll talk in detail about that in a minute. I'm going to talk about it today. I'm going to show you with chips kind of how it plays out, what it looks like, and how we can kind of how the mechanics of it work. Okay. Tomorrow, I haven't even talked to these guys yet, but tomorrow on Fact or Fiction Day, I'm going to bring Waylon and Ken on. They both agreed to do it, and have them not so much debate me, but really explain the theory of it. Like, why do they believe ladders are the way? I want to know from people who actually play with ladders, and I'm not one who does, why that is the way you play. I want to really dig into it. I don't want to talk about specific strategies. I want to talk about why does the process of laddering so important to you? Okay. On Wednesday, if I have a show Wednesday, and I'll tell you why in a minute. If I have a show Wednesday, Dr. S gave me a Python script. That's why I say it's Dr. S's snake. He gave me a Python script that I can run that will kind of showcase his laddering system and how it plays. I'm going to run that out. We'll do a little bit of nerd talk, and I'll run it for a few million rolls, and we'll just see how that thing shakes itself out, what the highs and lows of it are. And I have some other automated ladders that I can run with you as well. Just do some automation testing with it. I'll do some rolls too, but if I have a show Wednesday, that's what the Wednesday plan is. If I have a show Thursday, it'll be dig it or dog it. Well, you can drop me a line. We'll talk through it, whether you like it or not. I'm potentially going to Vegas for a couple of months. I'm going to go down there and work with David and the team. I'm going to be running the store. I'll be doing lessons at the store. I'll be like running the cash register while we're finishing the app in the evenings, right? We're going to kind of switch our schedules around, and I'm going to go down there and they're going to be filming a special course for the security people. And while they're filming, I'm going to be running the store, and then at night we'll be doing the coding. So I don't know if I'm leaving Wednesday or Thursday to do this. So we may or may not have a show either day or neither day. I don't know yet. So anyway, here we go. Let's jump into it and talk about laddering. And again, in this ABC's kind of episode, and again, kicking the week off of ladders, I really want to talk about what's called the D'Alembert system. Okay, and this is one of the more popular ladders. And again, I don't know how to say this word. I say, people say D'Alembert, I say D'Alembert. There's all sorts of ways to say it. It's the same thing. It's a ladder. It's French for ladder. It's the ladder. Okay. The core concepts of this way of playing are simple. When you lose, you raise your bets. When you win, you reduce your bets. Now that's the same as almost every other ladder we've seen. Martingale, up, 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 up. When you win, back down to base. The Martingale is one win all the way to base. Okay. We've seen the 31, which is this progression sort of stepping system, right? And it's scoped to a certain bet level at each level. When you win, you have to win twice, and then you're back to base. Okay. So it's a win, parlay, and return to base. The Fibonacci, again, up, 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 up. At some point you win, you come back a little bit. If you win again, you come back a little more. So it's kind of a double rung ladder. It's kind of confusing. If you don't know the math behind it, it's a tough one to play. The regular ladder, up a unit as you win, down a unit as you lose, pretty standard play. It's super popular in roulette, very popular in baccarat. Not a lot of people play ladders in blackjack. Blackjack is very much a pedal to the gas kind of thing. I think ladders can be used very effectively in blackjack, by the way. But it's really been made in history. Roulette and Bach are where ladders kind of shine. Now, folks like Waylon and Ken have kind of brought us visibly, and people do this, but they're the ones that have kind of shined a light on bringing the ladder to craps. The difference in craps versus those games is those games, for the most part, bets pay 1-to-1, right? If you're laddering the red, black, the outside bets, it's 1-to-1. If you're laddering the inside bets, most people play roulette like a hedge, so they're getting paid 1-to-1 anyway when they hedge it all out. And obviously baccarat and blackjack are all also 1-to-1 bets. Craps is not 1-to-1. So the bets typically pay more than 1-to-1. So the laddering works a little differently, right? You can actually gain some extra ground a little quicker in a craps ladder, which is kind of interesting unless you're playing multiple bets. So it's kind of cool to watch how Waylon and Ken and Dr. S think through laddering. The other thing about ladders is that this built-in sort of stop gap, right? As you're coming down, you have a chance to reset. And I'm going to show you today I'll bring it up for you here. You can see my rack, my rack. It's all set up for you to do an 8-step ladder today, right? You can tell very easily in a ladder as you're going through it when to stop. You have this, you play it, you win, you stop, you evaluate your rack. You can add more to it, right? Restart it, keep going, or reset. You have this great like nexus point where you can look at your stuff and go, it's time to stop. I love that about ladders because it's got built-in money management. As long as you're disciplined enough to take a look at your rack and do some third grade math and make sure that you know where you are. That's the core of it. There are other ways that people play it. Okay. And I think there's some really cool, what I would call pro level tweaks in ladders. Okay. One, my favorite, starting in the middle. A lot of Wayland stuff and a lot of Ken stuff, they'll start at level 1 in the ladder and they'll work their way up and work their way back down close to level 1. Some people start their ladder in the middle. And I'll show you the difference today of how it looks in the middle as a starting point versus the end as a starting point. Okay. You can play it, and when you get your first win in the ladder, do a parlay and come back. That parlay will eat up all the rungs coming down the ladder if you can pull it off. It's kind of a cool way to kind of get out quick if you're worried about time and money and that kind of thing. You can go up for more than one unit, which some people do. James Newberry, another one of our subscribers, goes up for less. He has a ladder where he starts at a quarter and goes 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 and comes back down slower, right? A little more bankroll respect in that one than a typical ladder. And you can also do something cool like the permanent press, which is you go up when you win and when you lose. Just ladder up forever until you catch the win that gets you back. And I'll show you that one today as well. So why don't we head to the table and let me give you some lens onto what these things look like. So let me move my keyboard out of the way. We'll head down here. I got to, of course, straighten her up a little bit, make sure that everything fits. Good enough, Diploma? All right, there we are. All right, so let's go through laddering. And I'm going to take, which chips make the most sense? Let's use the greens. I think the greens look good. Greens are fine. Okay, so a typical ladder works like this. And we're going to do the regular size ladder. Okay, we'll take a 1 unit bet, just the green chip. Okay, the concept is, and I'll put the losses up top and I'll put the wins down below, and we'll take a look at where we end up. Here's the banker money. Okay, up as you lose is the base concept. So you lose, I'm going to put it in the com. Doesn't matter. It's a bet. Who cares, right? When you lose, we lose. It was a 1 unit bet. Your next bet then is another unit. So you go to 2 units, right? Your base unit is whatever this first bet was. So you go up by 1 unit every time you lose. So you lose 2. Now you go up another unit to 3. Up to 3 units. And we'll do one more level here. We'll go, you lose it at 3. Your next bet is 4. So 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units, 4 units. That's the progression. You can go to infinity if you want to. If you have the bankroll, you can go forever with this. Okay. Let's say that you win at level 4. Okay. You win at level 4. I'm going to put the wins down here. Okay. You go up as you win, or up as you lose, down as you win. So we're going to win, let's just say 4 units. You take that 4 unit win, and we're going to come down a unit. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units in our rack. Now to this point, we have lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units so far. We're still out here with 3. If I pull this back right now, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the 6 units that we've lost, and we're actually up a unit at this point. But you can come all the way back down again. We're down at 3. You win 3. You go down to 2 and pull your money back. You win at 2. You go down to 1 and pull your money back. There's your initial first bet. There's 3. There's 6. And here's 6 units in profit. That's a ladder. Okay, now, very rarely do you just lose 4 in a row and then win 4 in a row. That's a miracle time. Doesn't always happen. What happens in ladders a lot is this choppiness. Okay, so let's watch what happens in a chop. Okay, let's say that you're out here and you make a bet and you lose the bet. Okay, come out at 2 units. Okay, let's say that you win the 2 unit bet. I'll put the wins down here. Okay, you win at 2 units and you come down a unit. Now you've got 3, but you lose this one. Okay? And we're going to work from our rack here. Back out at 2, you win 2, and you come down, right? You're back at 1. You bet 1 from your rack. You lose the 1. Okay, you go back out at 2. You win 2. You're back down. And watch how your bottom rack grows every single time. Okay, you're out at 1. You lose the 1. Go out at 2. You win 2. You're back down here. You're back at your 1 unit bet. And look at this. You're back now at 5. You lose that 1. You're back out at 2. And this time you're up 3 to the good. Okay, you win 2. You come back down. You bet 1 and lose it. You come back out at 2. And now you got 4. Every time you're chopping, when you win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, you gain a unit every single time that happens. Every time that sequence of lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win 1 happens, you go up by 1 every single time, all day long. So for people who say, oh God, the casino's a chop fest, you go to the back ride, it's like banker player, you can't win. You can win. If you're betting the chop, you can win, right? You can combine ways, okay? Let's say that you're here, right? Let's say that you lose 1. Okay, let's say your rack had 2 units in to start with, right? Let's do it like this. Your rack has 3 units. You bet 1, you lose 1. You bet 2, you win 2, and you come back down. Let's say you win here, right? You could pocket that because there was your initial couple of units, right? You could parlay the win and be out of there in 2 hits with your full profit level. Lots of options with the ladder. I think that you can, again, ways to play this thing might include starting at level 3 instead of level 2. Check this out. You start at level 3, right? Let's just say good chance we win. Let's say we win first. Let's say we have a good come out of the gate run and you ladder up and you win 3. That's awesome, right? Come down to 2. Well, there's your 3 units back and you've already got a unit locked up. Okay, you're locking up a unit. You're out here at 2. This can become a positive progression now. Or you can just say, you know what? We'll take our win. We'll come down and stay at 1 unit. And now you're back at level 1. When you win at level 1, you've doubled your money. You started with 3, you've got 6, right? You double up. Starting in the middle is kind of a cool thing because when you get down to 1, you're done. If you start in the middle at a 3 unit or a 4 unit bet, when you get down to the last one, you know your day is over. There's no way you can get down to the 1 and not be at least in massive profit. That's cool. I love starting in the middle because it gives me like this easy way to see it. All right. Now, let's take a rack. I'm going to show you this. And I'm going to show you what you would do at a craps table. Okay. At a craps table, it's very easy to manage a ladder because you have the rack sideways and you can see your levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have an 8-level ladder here. Very easy to know where you are because you're going to go out there with 1 and you're going to lose it. Okay. Go out there with 2 and lose it. Go out there with 3 and maybe lose it. Go out there with 4 even and lose at level 4, right? Bummer. Go level 5 and you're thinking, God, how much? I have 1, 2, 3, 4 runs left. Okay, well, let's get ourselves paid from here. Let's win 1. Let's win at level 5. Okay, great. So I have a 6 unit here. So the 5 comes right back to my rack. I put my next separator up and I come down a level. Now I'm at level 4 out here. My rack's not completely right yet. I can tell because I'm looking right at it. There's never a question when you're playing a ladder how close you are to being correct. Back in your rack again. Let's say you win at level 4 and you come down a level. Okay. My rack has level 5, 4. It's got almost level 3. But if I pulled the money back, there's level 3. There's level 2. I'm not quite even yet. I can look at my rack. I'm not even yet. So we go back out. We're staying level 3. Let's say we lose level 3. Now we got to go to 4. We're going to take 4 units out. And again, you can tell in your rack where you are. 1, 2, 3, 4 full levels, and you're building back up again. Okay. You win at level 4. Down a unit. And again, there's level 4. There's level 3. There's level 2. There's level 1. I'm actually even at this point. I can start over again. Right? This is what Waylon talks about, knowing where you are in your rack. Start over again. Or keep working my way down. If I work my way down, win at 3, reduce to 2. Now I have 2. I have level 1. I have profit, and I'm playing with 2. Could be done for the day. Could be a reset. Could be a start over, parlay at level 3. It could be whatever you want to be. But if you're not watching and managing where you are, you're going to have a hard time. And if you're playing another game, like blackjack or Bach, it's the same thing, right? There's 1, there's 2, there, and again, you've got your space in front of you. 1, 2, 3, there's 4, and behind it you can have 5, 6, and 7. I need one more check, right? One, and actually you might go 4, 3, 2, 1, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 levels. And keep it all right in front of you, right? So you know, I'm betting with that one on the Baccarat table. When I lose it, I come to here. If I win that one, I come back, and I have profit. Managing your money in a ladder is very important, right? Knowing when you're done is also very important. I think that people forget that when they're laddering, they get too scared. And we've talked about this. If you get yourself up to level 7 in the ladder, you're crapping yourself like, oh my God, I got too much money out there. You might actually win this bet and be back to square again. You may actually be ahead and not know it. Unless you're managing your rack correctly, you don't know where you might be. Because you can go from 7 to 8, 7 to 8, 7 to 8, and all of a sudden you're up 6 units and don't realize it, right? If you're consistently resetting your stacks here or your stack in the rack, then you'll know where you are. And that's an important bit of it, right? So I think it all comes down to rack management, to time management, to really understanding where you are and trusting that your bankroll is going to protect you. Now, are you going to hit the bad run? For sure, you'll hit the bad run. Ken hit a bad run on the show the other day. Waylon, by the way, ran, how long did you run for, Waylon? How long did you run for? You were 2.5 hours or whatever the hell it was. You ran 500 rolls. I mean, I think you took a challenge from 40 Craps, who called you out and said that your system would never last 500 rolls, and you ran 500 rolls and you won. Did you have bad runs in there? Yeah. Right? Was it squirrely at times? Yeah. But it worked itself out for 2 reasons. Because, again, probabilities will work themselves out over time. You had the bankroll to last that out, and you were managing your money the entire time. You never didn't know where you were. And you were always able to reset when it was time to reset. There's times when you're at level 7 and you can reset to level 1 and not have to sweat this big ass bet here at the end. You got to realize that when you're playing a ladder. I think ladder, it sounds like it's the easiest thing in the world. It's not. You've got to be paying attention. If you're not paying attention in your ladder, you will have a problem. But this way of playing is very interesting to me, right? The way that math works out. Now I'm going to look at chat because there's a couple of comments out here that I think I can address at the table. So let me just go through really quick here and look at some of what's being said, and then I'll come back in here. So Ken says that's why you watch your rack level, right? 8, 7, 8, 7, 8, 7. Boy, you're at profit quick, right? And we can look at this, right? Let's just do that one because I think that's interesting. If I go to 8, 7, let's just pretend we lost all this, right? We had a really bad run. There's 6, there's 5, there's 4, there's 3, 2, and 1. Okay, that's a lot of loss. That's a whole lot. Matter of fact, that loss is 5, 10, 15, 21 units in loss, right? And now you're at level 7. And you're going, holy crap and crap, levels. What am I going to do here at level 7, right? Watch how fast you get back when you're doing this, okay? Let's take a level 7 win. Okay, there's level 7's win, and it comes down 1, right? Let's say that it comes down, and there's 7. We're working on our 6, and we lose here. We're at level, and we freaking lose, right? God, you're okay. Well, let's go back to level 7 again, right? Let's go 7. Let's win at 7. Come back down again, right? And now look at this. You're building up. Now you have 2 to the good every single. And let's say that let's say you win here at level 6. We're going to go up twice. Level 6, come down. There's 5. Working on 4. But you might lose and bounce back and forth between these last 2. Again, we'll lose here. Come back out at 6. We'll lose at 6. We'll come back out at level 7. Okay. Now let's bounce. Okay. Let's lose level 7. Let's come out level 8. Your last level, there's 8 units. Okay. Win at level 8. And you're back. Right? With 1 less. You lose level 7. Well, that sucks. Okay. Back out level 8 again. You're back out level 8. Watch how we build it back up again. 8 becomes 8. There's your 8. Watch how fast we build this up. There's 5 coming back to, or 4 coming back, right? We lose at level, oh, we didn't bring 1 back. We lose at level 7. You're back out at level 8. You win at level 8. Is that 8? That's 8. Okay, cool. There's 8. There's 5. There's 6. Right? 5, 6. Yeah. Lose at level 7. Back at level 8. Win at level 8. Got 1 too many chips. It goes back in. +1. And now you've got 8 and a full 7 sitting here in the rack. You've bought back a full bullet. Knowing that out here you've got your level 6 bullet sitting in there. Okay? There's your next win. That brings the full bullet back. +1, and you're on your way home. Now, you can do what I was saying earlier, which is, let's take this level, we have a level 7 bet out here. I should be at level 5 now, actually. I pulled too much money back. So I'm level 5, and I win at 5. You want to be ballsy about it? Parlay it. And take 10 back on the next one. If you feel like you can parlay it, for whatever reason, watch what happens. You don't have to work all the way home. You can go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and have profit. If you're ballsy enough to take a parlay on the way down. If you don't win your parlay on the way down, all you did was waste a rung, right? If you have a 3-unit bet, that was your laddered up to 3, and you parlayed the win and it lost, just go back out there at 3 and do that one again. You just burned it. You burned 1 level by doing it, but that parlay chance gets you all the way out if you want to take the risk on it. So there it is. That's a whole look at some different options on the ladders. I think, again, in the chop, the ladder is great because you're winning 1. You're winning 1. Every time you lose, win, lose, win, lose, win. You're winning a unit every single time. It may be a grind to come back from being 11 or 13 units down, but you're going to get there. And when it goes good, right? Let's say that you're grinding down and you're like, okay, you lose 4, win 5, lose 4, and you're winning 1, and you're at 5 units, and then you catch a little bit of a run when you're at 5 and you win 4 in a row. Right? You were making money in that chop the whole way. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. But when it finally goes good for you and you win at 5 and pull 1 down, you win at 4 and pull 1 down, you win at 3 and pull 1 down, you win at 2 and you're done. The good run after a chop, look at that. 5, 10, 15, 18 units. After a chop, a decent run. If you can survive the chop, which ladders are built to survive the chop. If you survive that chop and you come back to health 2, 3, 4 in a row, guess what? Your profits go soaring. That's why I like starting in the middle. I like to start in the middle and simulate a chop and let me just get going from the inside, right? But that's just an idea. All right. Let me come back up to the main screen here and we'll talk through it, get some questions and blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Like it? You really like ladders? I'd love to know what your guys' thoughts are. I know that some of you people love ladders. Some of y'all hate ladders, but let's talk. Let me go through chats here and see what, if any, some of the questions that we might have are. Let's see here. Let's see. Crash Measure says I should retire because they reach a few of us. That's funny. Yeah. You know what? Literally, if you, I said it earlier, if you can reach one person, that's all you have to do. Like, your mission, if you want to call it that, and Joe, you can be in the same bucket, right? Your mission is grinding. Let me show you how what it takes to work, right? Let me show you what it takes to put in an hour live every day at least, plus the time you're doing offline, practicing your toss, working on your betting, right? You started out knowing not a whole lot, right? You got yourself really good. Matter of fact, you started out, I remember you talking about it, not having a lot of money to go out there and gamble with. I know you just went on the cruise and did really well. You're playing horseman at green and black levels now. Why? Because you're winning, right? You're reaching people with your journey. Is people following it on a journey like that is freaking fantastic, Joe. So you're awesome. All right. What's missing from this approach is elements of bet studies. Seriously intend to attack this game, laddering losses. It lacks energy, honest intent. Where's the battle? Right? So JR wants to just kind of actually have a fight, a real fight. Again, to each their own. Right? The ladder is a grind. If you're going to play a ladder, you're looking to grind out a unit. That's the way that people who think laddering, that's what they're doing. They're going to grind it out. They're going to use their bankroll. Again, look at my rack. That's not a small amount of money. That's 36. That's 36 units, by the way, in that strip. Okay. If that's blacks, it's $3,600 if you're playing at the black chip level to ladder up that many levels. It's not for the faint of heart. And it's also not designed to win you a fortune. It's designed to grind you out a unit. If you lose 36, you better damn well find a way to win 36 in a row at some point to get that back. That's the truth of it. So just make sure that we're honest about it. And tomorrow in Fact or Fiction, I'm going to talk to Ken and talk to Waylon about that. The honesty of what happens when it goes bad. And more importantly, what happens when it goes bad early. Right? You can win 30 times in a row and lose 20 and still be up. But if you lose 30 the first day, you're fighting you're laddering your loss from your loss. Follow? It makes it a compounded problem. So we'll talk about that tomorrow for sure. Let's see. Positive progression. Yeah, I love the positive. I like a positive progression. I enjoy that better. I'd rather attack than defend, I think. That's just my way of doing it, but I understand the defense mechanism. All right. Let's see. 40. I don't think ladders are a great suggestion. You eventually end up putting your entire bankroll on the line. And I understand the point that you're making there. And I think we should talk through it. And maybe we'll talk through it tomorrow with those two. But honestly, the person who's playing a ladder has already made that determination. They've already said, I'm going to put, whatever. I just made a mess. I'm going to put 36 units at risk to win one. Or the martingale guy. I'm going to risk this much to win one because I think I can win one more than that many times in a row. That's the thought process. I can win one unit more than I will lose, more often than I will lose. If I can win 35 and I can lose one, and my one loss is 31, I'm ahead. That's the thinking of somebody who plays a ladder, who's playing a negative progression. My bankroll is my hammer. I'm going to use the bankroll I have to outlast the downsides. I don't care about variance. We on the right side, or we playing a positive game, betting low, pressing wins, we need a good variant for our bets to win. The person playing a ladder doesn't. They just need time. They need the table to come back and reset to them. And they can survive the chop. They can survive the downturn because they have enough bankroll to get to a point where when the table does turn and they catch 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row, they're backing up. It's the bankroll that is the hammer in a ladder. It's not the strategy. It's not necessarily the person. The person has to be smart about how they manage their money, but the bankroll is the piece. The bankroll is the strategy. You're playing the casino's game. When you're playing a ladder, you're playing their game. You're using your bankroll as a way to outlast variance. That's how the casinos win. They have unlimited bankroll, so variance to them doesn't matter. They love it when people win a lot of money because it makes it exciting and people tell stories and they come. They have enough bankroll to withstand all of that. And people who play ladders have enough bankroll to withstand the crap they're seeing on a table. I think that's the mentality difference that people have, I think. I could be wrong about that, but that's the way that I see it. All right, let's see. We got some Back and forth between 4D and Waylon, which I expected because again they got into it last week, and Waylon actually proved him wrong. I mean, Waylon proved him wrong. Waylon went 500 rolls live with a ladder and not only survived but profited in multiple ways of strategy. So, you know what I mean? You got to take your hats off. If you have the bankroll and the time, and you can withstand variance, you can for sure make it work. And I think Waylon absolutely proved that last week. So good on him for taking the challenge on and going for it. And laddering is not a glorified martingale. It's different. Martingale is all for one. Laddering is a system that, again, if you don't understand how ladders work, the system of laddering is designed to grind it out, but also, as you saw, double, triple your profits on the way down. If you're playing a ladder, you can double up, you can triple up in a ladder. You can't do that in a martingale. It's a whole different sphere. So, all right, there we go. Okay, we got it. You hate ladders. That's pretty fine. I think I'm not sure you're talking to 4D or to JR, but yeah, some people hate ladders, and that's what it is, right? I think you have to be around that. And again, we don't all have to be in love over here, right? It's that person's way of playing is that person's way of playing. And I think that's just the way it is, right? The way you see the world. So, all right, I got to get out of here for work. Waylon changed his big bet. So Waylon does this. Waylon does do multiple bet sizes, right? Now the laddering, I think, to me, hey, can I say this out loud? Laddering to me, I would do a ladder if I had a lot of money. And what I mean by that is, to me, the grind of a ladder is more palatable if I'm doing it at black chip level. Does that make sense? I would rather do a ladder at blacks so that my grind is a black chip. I don't want a ladder with a small bankroll at bubble craps. I know Waylon and Alicia do that a lot. Not for me. I don't want to grind in a ladder for 10, 15, 20 bucks at a shot. It's just not enjoyable to me, right? I'd rather, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to do it for more money. So I think bankroll has a lot to say about it. So, let's see what happens here. You're talking and you guys are going back and forth. PC, if I lose 10 in a row, same betting, how do you win it back? The same better. Here's the thing. Let me go back to my table. This is a great point, Waylon. I think we should talk about this. We've had this conversation. The skill and I talk about this a lot. Same betting is very interesting. Okay, let's take a look at something. Let's do 3 guys. Okay, and let's just take some basics. Okay, if the same bettor wins, let's just take 3 wins in a row. Okay, we'll do it, and again, we'll do. Let's do it like this. We'll do a 4-leg parlay. Okay, so let's say the guy same bettor wins 4 times in a row. He wins 4 units. Okay, here's a 1, 3, 2, 4. This guy here is going to go to 1. He's going to win 1 and stack it to go to 3 units, right? He's going to win 3, come down to 2. He's going to win 2, go to 4, and win 4. Okay, now his profit is here, right? This guy here wins 4 net units. This guy here wins, it looks like 10, but it's actually not 10. He has 12 here, but 2 of those were his initial bets. He wins a net of 10 units. I'll put that aside. Okay. But he wins 1. He wins 1. He wins 1. He wins 1. This guy here is at winning 1, crashing to 3, right? On hit number 2, he's already got profit. He got nothing. He's ahead. This guy down here who's going to parlay 4 times in a row, he wins 1 and stacks it up. Wins 2, stacks it up. Wins 4, stacks it up. Right? The same bettor has collected. Every single time he's collected money. This guy here, press. Only wins if he gets the 4th one. Otherwise, the same bettor's ahead of him. People rag on same bettors, but the same bettor is ahead for all 4 until this guy gets the miracle. The same bettor's ahead of him for at least 2 wins, and then he catches up and passes him. And it's only a tie at this point. It's the 4th win that he makes money on, right? Same bettors get ragged on for this. Now, that said, the same bettor against the ladder is in a different situation, because if we lose a bunch, right? The same bettor is going to lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, 9 times, 10 times in a row he may lose. He's out 10, period. The ladder guy is going to be in for whatever that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever that progressive number ends up being, 40, whatever units it is. When he wins coming down, he's out of money. This guy's coming with more hammer. He wins coming down. The recovery plan is built into the ladder, right? Lose 1, lose 2, lose 3, bet 4, win 4. There's recovery built into this thing. If he would have lost the same bettor 3 times in a row and then wins 1, right? He's still down 3. This guy here wins 1. Guess what? He's got his 3, he's got his 2, he's got his 1, and he's in profit. As he's laddering up, when the wins come, they recover. Ladders are all about recovery. It's not about generating a ton of money. They're about recovering and catching a little bit of a run on the way down. The run on the way down is where the money's made. And I don't think people realize that. The run on the way down is where a ladder makes money. The ladder survives the shit until the run. The same bettor cannot survive this shit. They get beat in this shit. They lose all 10 units. They never have a recovery. They're just done. Yes, they're ahead when it's going good in the early stages, but they get destroyed when they're out of money. The ladder guy just keeps on going and he makes his money coming back. The recovery is built into a ladder. There is no recovery in same betting. There's no recovery in progressive betting. The recovery is you win. Lose, 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 hit a home run. Am I up? Good, I'm going home. If I'm not up after the home run, I got to restart. Lose, 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 hit a home run. Now I'm up and I go home. Right side progressive betting is all about the home run. Right side or dark side or negative progression betting, ladder betting is all about chop, 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 catch a small run and bye-bye. Flat betting is a recipe for disaster, period. It's a recipe for disaster, period. And that's just what it is. So I think that this guy here is wrong. I think ladders do work. And and again, you're talking to somebody, and I want you to know this, 4D. You're talking to somebody here, Ken and Waylon, both, and we'll have them on tomorrow. And I will do you a solid. I will challenge them tomorrow on some of this concepts. But these guys, Ken played professionally. Ken lived in Vegas and paid for his rent, his food, his health insurance, all of it through gambling using ladders. He did it. So to say to Ken, it doesn't work, you got a problem. Okay. You got a big problem because Ken will prove to you that it worked because he did it. Waylon's been gambling for 30 something years using ladders and it works for him. I don't know if he's ahead for his life, but it works for him. So it can work if you have discipline, patience, and bankroll and time to withstand it. It's not for everybody. For somebody like me, who my entire gambling bankroll could be at risk for one ladder session, it's not going to work for me. There's a lot of people that I know. I've heard, and I've told Waylon this before, and this is a source of a fight between Waylon and the guys at Casino Quest. Way back, somebody came to Vegas multiple times. I know this is true. Go to the bank, pull out 10 grand, go to Vegas, play a ladder, lose the 10 grand, which can happen, and have nothing backing them up. If you don't have the bankroll, you cannot play a ladder. Ladders work given bankroll. It's true. It's true. So, but yeah, for sure. We'll definitely do it. We'll definitely do this when I have you on too. We'll go through your strategy. And again, fair is fair, right? I will talk through the math with everybody. So for sure. All right, let's get out of here. I got to get to work. I'm late for my meeting as always. So let's see. 46 years. I'm trying to go through here with the chats are coming fast and furious. I can't really see them all. It's not practical to build thousands to come out when a 7 will kill you. Well, that's, again, you can debate the strategy, right? Versus the theory, right? Maybe that's not the greatest play on the don't, right? Maybe a ladder's better at Bach. And again, I use craps a lot because I got a craps table here and I love the game. But these concepts, red and black roulette, baccarat player banker, blackjack in a regular game, in a regular 3-2 game. This is what I'm talking. The ladders are built for those games. In craps, you can ladder other bets that pay a little different. So it makes the craps an interesting conversation, but it's not the only conversation. So, all right, I got to get out. See y'all tomorrow. Thanks again for hanging out. And again, I'll leave you with the last couple of comments here, which I think are very, very important. One's from Sweet Lou, right? We start off talking about the bridge. We end asking you to stay in focus, right? Follow your plan. If your plan's a ladder, follow it. If it's not, follow your other plan, right? Know what's happening out there. Control your emotions at all times. Understand your game and stay disciplined. Focus, okay? Keep it simple. Keep it as simple as you can. Ladders are about simplicity. It's no thinking. It's no emotion. It's just execute the plan, okay? Don't admire complexity, right? If you get all goo goo gaga over something complex that ends up working once in a while, you're going to be in a world of hurt. Keep it simple. The geniuses out there admire simplicity. I think we overcomplicate a lot of things in our world, not just in gambling. So keep this in mind. And with that said, love y'all. God bless. See you in the morning. Bye.